Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our weekly leadership Zoom. I am, as usual, so excited. Tuesdays are like the best day of the week because we get to pull on some amazing leadership in this company, and they pour their hearts out to us. And we always, if you're just joining us for the first time on one of these, get a pen and paper. You're going to grab some tips. You are going to be inspired. And I promise you that something is going to be said on today's Zoom that you're going to be like, I am so glad I got on that. We also get paid today, which is pretty awesome. So all in all, it's just an amazing day. This week, I have 200K Kristen Gonzalez on with us. And I can't wait to hear her story because I don't know it. I'm super excited. Kristen, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Sure, no problem. Hi.
Yay, good to go. So Kristen, I want to jump right in, and I would love for you to kind of just share with everybody what you did before you got into this network marketing gig. And if you did anything else like network marketing wise besides Lavelle. And then how did you find Lavelle, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, so I started 5 years ago. It was May 22nd, 2015. I don't know if anybody's like me. I will always remember the date. At that time, I was an elementary school teacher. I taught third grade. I actually taught third grade for about 3 years. A little bit before that, though, like in college, I sold kids' books door to door. And so I sold each summer, and then I would recruit college kids to come and sell in the summer when we were still in school. So that kind of was like my direct sales experience. I was actually really shy, and I knew I needed people skills. So I'm like, what better way to learn people skills than to go knock on doors, talking to strangers, like 3,000 of them a summer. It was so scary. But so I learned a little bit about recruiting, learned a lot about hard work. We had 80-hour weeks, and then I was like planning meetings and stuff. And then I got to a point where I hated sales. I'm like, this is not fun. I'm so tired of people telling me no. I hate the rejection. Like, it was hard. So then I went into teaching, which I wanted to do like my whole life. And then from teaching, I got to a point where I was like, I'm broke, I'm tired, and I'm crying every day. So what is going on? Like, what am I going to do with my life? What do I want to be when I grow up? That kind of thing. But I was just kind of going through the motions. I had tried lots of other products. I did do a couple other companies, nothing serious, but I always was like, I need the extra income, and I always liked trying new things. So I tried the skincare stuff. I tried the makeup stuff. I tried other health and wellness. I tried travel stuff. They were fun, but I never really got like successful. So by the time I heard about Lavelle, I was watching Dana Chuba. She's my direct upline. And I'm like, oh God, another one of these things. She actually got me into a couple other things before too. And I'm like, I'm not doing another one with her. And she would reach out to me, and I'm like, I'm good, girl, thanks. I was using a different nutritional system at the time, and I thought I was good until I got to a point where I was like, okay, she's having way better results than me. She's happier. She's skinnier. She's keeping up with her 2 kids. I'm 27. I feel like I'm 87. I can barely keep up with my class. I was planning a wedding. We were trying to buy a house. I was a cheerleading coach. I was a Sunday school teacher. I had all the things going on. So when she sent me a message and she's like, girl, you're going to need energy to plan that wedding, that was the message that got me, because it was about me, and it wasn't about selling a product. And it was the moment where I was like, I am so exhausted. Why not? I've tried all the other things. My pantry's full. I'm sure my husband now, fiance then, would be pissed at me, but whatever. If it doesn't work, it'll just go in the pantry with everything else. If it does work, awesome. I need something that makes me feel great, not good, like what I was doing before. So I just said, why not? Let's do it. And I was just going to be a customer. That's what I wanted. But I did have one friend that wanted to do it too. She and I were best friends forever. And she's like, I think I'm going to do that thing Dana's doing. So I told her, don't order. Hold on. I know how these things work. If I have one person let's see what happens. Like, I never really got anybody to join me in anything else. So I'm like, cool, I could have one person here. So I called Dana. I'm like, all right, tell me about this Thrive thing. And I have one person, like, what are the benefits? And so she told me, as a customer, you know, you can get your 2, you can get next month for free, but as a promoter, if you have one, you make commission off of it. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not doing the parties. I'm not doing the meetings. Do not, like, I'm not buying in bulk. I don't want to do those things. Been there, done that. Waste of time, waste of money. She's like, okay, that's cool. Like, you don't have to do those. It costs nothing. You don't pay for a website. You know, we all know the thing. It's free. So I'm like, ugh, fine. Only because it's free and I have one person, I'll make like $15. Like, it's like getting a discount. I'd never tried the products, no sample, nothing. So I placed my order as a promoter, telling her, do not expect me to do anything. I'm not your next rock star. Like, don't expect that. And my friend joined that day too. And then I went to school the day after placing my order, and sorry, I have a 2.5-year-old and a 4-month-old, and I hear the 4-month-old. Hopefully it's okay. I might have to get him in a second. But I told teachers about it, and I don't know, Lisa, I'm just like going on.
No, you're good. Keep going.
So never trying the products, just the Lord telling me, share. And I never really shared about anything before, but I'm like, okay, fine. I'll tell other teachers. If I'm tired, they're tired. So I just opened my mouth and I'm like, hey, so I'm going to start this product and it's supposed to make you skinny and happy. Like, who wants to be skinny and happy with me? Like, I knew nothing about it. And I just showed Dana's photos from Facebook. I'm like, look at her. She's smiling. She's fitting in her high school jeans again. I was fluffy. I was eating from the candy drawer. I was drinking too many coffees and soda, and I knew they were too. So I'm like, let's go on this journey together. Let's do this together. We could make it like a Biggest Loser type thing. We have so much fun. Why not? So they asked me questions. I didn't know the answers. I put them at my teacher table. So if there's teachers on right now, I'm probably not because you're probably at work, but if you watch later, have someone else explain it for you. I sat them at the table. I put Dana on speakerphone. She explained to the 4 people. And within like 3 or 4 days, 2 of them joined me as customers and 2 of them figured, why not? I'll be a promoter too. I'm a broke teacher. Let's give myself opportunity to earn some income. So I think it was like $50 away from hitting VIP. And then I'm like, well, let me just sign up my husband. And that's how he got started. I sold things in my apartment to get another $150 to order his month. My month I put on a credit card because I didn't have money. And then I sold things in my apartment at a garage sale to make $150 to buy his month. Hit VIP. That money hit my bank account before I even got my box in the mail. It got lost. That's a whole nother story. But I hit VIP before I had even tried the products, y'all, because I believed enough and I just listened to my gut and I ran with it. People were starting before me. People at my school that I told about Thrive to were starting before me and they're like, I love it. It's great. I'm like, I'm so jealous. I haven't even started yet. I started on men's because my husband's box came before mine. So that's my super long story of how I got started.
So once you did, because you said, did you get both your VIP bonuses or just one?
No, I just hit VIP 800 and I'm like, I'm good. I didn't even go for VIP 1600.
And then did you go 4K in 30 days? Like, let's talk about your timeline in between each rank so people can kind of get a feel of how long it took to go 200K.
Yeah. So hit VIP 800. I was good with that.
Just build a muscle, baby.
Didn't hit VIP 1600. But once I started using the products and the other people I told were loving it, I was loving it. We're like, oh my gosh, everybody needs this. So I seriously told every person that I could. Like, I went A to Z on my Facebook friends list and I'm just like, girl, you should thrive with me. I don't know if that works anymore, and this is 5 years ago, but I'm like, you should thrive with me. You should thrive with me. Like, every single person, no judgment, nothing. And then people were like, okay, what is it? And I got them on the 3-way call and I followed the funnel. And the last day of my 30 days, I can't remember like how much away I was, but I'm like, I'm too close. I swear it was like $500. I'm like, I am too close to not get this. So I called and texted people all night, and I'm pretty sure I hit that at like 10:50 p.m. Time cuts off for us Central Time, 10:59. So like 10:50 p.m. I hit it in 30 days. And then the next month came, and I think I did have to start over. I don't think I had rollover volume, but we hit 12K in 60 days. So my husband started sharing, and people I was telling, they started sharing. They were trying to get their 2 referrals, and it was 1050 again. The last day of the month, I hit 12K, and I was just calling people. I'm like, listen, we've been talking about this. I know you're gonna love it. I'm about to hit a car bonus. I know I probably should have made it about me, but I don't know. I didn't know. I was just like 60 days in. You don't know. I'm like, I'm about to earn a car, y'all. Like, do yourself a favor, get started, and let's do this. And so that's why I always say every single minute of the month counts. Do not go the last day and be like, I'm still whatever away. Like every minute counts. And you just have to have the confidence and just tell them to do it. Because some people just need that, like, just do it, trust me. Otherwise they're gonna hee-haw forever. So deadlines kind of help with that too. So then we hit 12K in 60 days. I wrote down my timeline because I actually forgot, but this is good. So after hitting 12K, it was 6 months later that I hit 40. So what is that? Maybe 8 months total. So I loved this. I was so excited that people were passionate about, or I was passionate about people and their health and wellness. They were feeling better. It was so rewarding. Like, I loved being a teacher and helping the kids, but I saw I can help parents who can help their kids, and I can make such a bigger impact through the Thrive experience. I remember we were 30K, and they released my first lifestyle getaway, Cabo. They dropped it down. They're like, okay, if you're 30K and up, you can qualify for the trip. And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. And so I ran to go register for the trip. And going to Cabo as a 30K, that's where we really saw the vision. I think that was about 5 months in. And I caught the vision. My husband caught the vision. I hadn't gotten my car yet because we thought it was too good to be true. We were skeptical. My husband's a financial advisor. He's like, do not go get a Mercedes and this fails and you have to pay for that. So just drive my Corolla. But anyways, after the lifestyle getaway, we were like, we're going to get the car. I went the next day and got my car. And that was a big thing where people are like, oh my gosh, she's happier. She's losing weight. She's getting a Mercedes. Like, people watched it unfold. So if you're on and you're 12K and haven't got your car yet, go get the car. Like, it shows that it's real. You can say it, but when they see it, it validates. So we got the car. That's when we hit 40K. I'm pretty sure it was like December. So no such thing as slow months. I don't ever want to hear that. We hit 40K, and then 2 months after that, I was making more money doing Lavelle from my phone. Sorry if I'm having claims, but it's true. And I was happier. I was crying every day as a teacher, and I'm like, I can be a teacher. I can always be a teacher. A time in a company like now, like even now, and then whenever, like a time in a company like this is not always going to be there. This rocket ship is going off with or without me, and I want it with me. And if I wasn't happy, it was affecting my marriage because I wasn't happy with being a teacher. And I remember sitting in my principal's office, and I know she's not on, so I'm gonna say, she was like, do you have to be here? And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean, do I have to be here? Like, financially, do I have to be here? Do I come here for a paycheck? And no, absolutely not. Like, I'm committed to these kids. I love teaching, yada, yada. And she's like, well, you can work at a daycare center and care about kids. And that to me was like, okay, do they really care about me as a person? I'd already been denied time off to go on vacation. I felt like, I don't know. I'm like, I can't do this. And so I put in my 2 weeks notice right after spring break. I quit before the school year was over. Teachers are probably like, oh my God. I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to follow my passion. And so I left 2 weeks after that. It was so awkward, but I left. And funny story, those people who made fun of me at school, I got written up at school. So we want to talk about adversity. They purposefully would ask me questions. I would answer, then they would go tell on me. Like, it was awful, y'all. Like, it was not a good environment, and thrivers were happy and they were positive people. And so I'm like, I got to follow this passion. And I left. And from there, I left in the end of March. We hit 200K in May, or we hit 80K in May. I'm sorry. We hit, was that like 3 months or something after we hit 80K? And then in November of that year, we hit 200K. So all together, it was 18 months to hit 200K. So
I love that, because it's not like in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Because it takes time, but 18 months is still fast. Like, that is still incredible. And when you're on this journey, you realize how incredible that is, the longer you're in it. So you've been in 6 years?
I just celebrated 5.
5 years it's a long time, but it goes so fast, doesn't it, when you're having fun? It seems like yesterday. I just realized I'm going to celebrate 4 years, October 15th. And I'm like, 4 years? This is crazy. How have I been here 4 years? How is this possible? But, I also like to kind of touch base on, just some of the things over the last 5 years that have happened that have set you back, because there's so many people on here right now that they're going through something. It's not their season right now. And they're kind of freaking out, and I know you have seen it. I've seen it over the last just 4 years that I've been in. I've lost 200K legs. I've seen 80 K legs go. And I'm like, why are you doing this? But which, by the way, all of those people have tried to come back to the company. So it's like, people think grass is greener. And when they hit these walls, whatever those walls are for them, it's like, okay, maybe it's easier if I just get the heck out of here and go try this thing somewhere else. And what they find usually is that's just, they're going to hit walls anywhere. I was with one other business before this, and I was always hitting walls. I still hit walls here. You're going to hit them. And I think it's just so cool for people to hear, it's really cool for us to hear all about your setbacks. So tell me about all your crappy times.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, we won't want to be here for hours, so I'll just pick a few. Gosh, yeah. So I had got my husband up to 40K when all those bonuses were going on. And he, like, I don't know how long it took, but he got to down to like 2K at one point. And those were a lot of my personals. And that hurt. One was my cousin, and we were doing this, and she was at like 9,000 in volume. Like, cool girl, okay, next month we're gonna hit 12. And then she just stopped. And I'm like, what are you doing? No. And I've even heard things from family, and it's hard and it hurts and it sucks. And I wrote down that once I hit 80K, I've never lost 80. But I have lost 200K. I think it's 10 times. 10 times, y'all. 10 times that I got to pick myself back up. I got to keep going. I forget what month, but I got a red leg. I had never really had red leg. I was pretty balanced. And then all of a sudden, like, one team just shot up and started killing it, which I am so happy. That's what you want. You want to build leaders, and you want them to grow and develop and be able to do it on their own without you. So, and then my black legs got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's like this teeter-totter. We're like, one's way up here and the other one's down here. So I'm still going through it right now, but that's not going to make me give up. Like, this is my life. This is my passion. This is what I love doing. It's tough. Like, I hear my kids crying right now. Sorry, I hope no one judges me, but they're going to cry. It's okay. They're fine. Mommy has to work. So it gets hard when you're like, oh my gosh, my part of my team's falling off. I have to get my 2K back to 40K. Where are all these people? But I kind of think of it, I heard this somewhere. It's like you're running a marathon, and everybody is like a little drink of water, right? When you run the marathon, you go to a table, you get that little cup of water, and it helps you get to the next table with a little cup of water, which helps you get to the next table with another cup of water until you reach the finish line. And you might have like one water bottle with you that goes with you the whole time, but you need these little drinks of water along the way. Sometimes that's how this marathon is, and people are your cups of water there's one, to get you to the next table, to get you to that next station, which eventually helps you get to the finish line, whatever your finish line is. I really don't feel like there's ever a finish line because, yeah, I hit 200K, but I'm still going. Without Millionaire, hopefully by the end of September, that's about to happen. So you just have to keep going. Liam, you got to get to that next table, that next cup of water, and be okay that some people are not going to be with you the entire way. It's going to slow you down if you're dragging that dead weight all the way to that finish line. It's kind of like, what is it? A bow and arrow, right? I'm all about analogies. Sometimes people are pulling you back in the bow and arrow, but if you just let them go, like you shoot to your target faster because you don't have that restraint holding you back anymore. You don't have that tension, you don't have that pull. And not to talk bad about, do not put that on my wall. He's got a red marker. Oh my God. Not to talk bad about people, but sometimes that's just how it is. And you have to let them go to shoot forward faster to your target. Even now, I wrote down now I struggle. And sometimes I'm like, wouldn't it just be easier? Like my husband has a good job. And I'm like, wouldn't it be easier if I just I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like I'll just take care of the kids, especially with what's going on in the world right now. Like, let me not send them to a school or anything. Let me just be home with them. Like it'd be so much easier. But I'm like, no, I can't let this go. Like this is my baby. Like my team is my baby. It makes me emotional. I'm like this is my purpose. Like some people love being moms and I love being a mom, but like I want my own thing too. Like I want to provide for my family as well. I want to be able, and what we've been able to do because I've faced the adversity, I've pushed through all of the crap that comes with it. She takes care of us. I paid off my husband's student loans, $21,000. Like how freaking baller is that as a wife to be like, don't worry, baby, I got you. Like I'm paying his student loans. I bought his dream car, a 68 Chevelle that paid for cash, that is sitting in the garage that I was able to buy for my husband and surprise him on Valentine's Day. Like to have not ask for permission, like we would never be like that, like ask for permission to buy things. But like I make my own money. Like I can do what I want. And it's just, I don't know, to me as a wife, as a woman, I have to have that. And so when people are telling me no, or people are talking about me or making fun of my sticker or whatever it is, like I'm not worried about that because they don't pay my bills. They sure as heck aren't going to pay these medical bills from the second baby. So then why should I let them affect me and my opinions? I just watched a Zoom recently. Is Kayla Fox so good? She's like, and she got it from somebody, I don't remember who, but she said, okay, when you die, like maybe, I don't know, 30 people will be at your funeral, and from those 30, maybe 6 of them will cry. If you're not going to cry for me at my funeral, you have no right to affect me here, right? So you just have to be focused on your goals. You have to be focused on your vision. I have my vision board over here. If you don't have a vision board, do one. I'm sorry if it's loud. I'm on like my 4th or 5th vision board because we've checked things off. Whatever it is on there, put it down. It can't just be here. You have to get your vision down on paper, down on a poster, on the wall, sticky notes, wherever you spend a lot of time, like get what you want out of life written down because you only get one life. I don't want to get to the end of my life, work 40 years for someone else, have a little bit of 401k and maybe some social security, and I'm living paycheck to paycheck. That's not me. I want to work my freaking tail off for 5 to 10 years, make in this company millions of dollars, and have that set up for my retirement. I'm funding my own retirement. I'm funding my kids' college fund if they decide to go. I can buy investment properties or a condo on the beach to rent out to make multiple streams of income. Like I want to do that now so we can live all the way through life, not just when we get to our 60s and be so tired that you don't even want to go on the trips. right? Like, I want to live it now. So there's my tangent, Lisa. I'm sorry.
No, it's so good. I love when one of your kids came in, you go, there's one now. But how cool is it that we can do this business and get, who cares? We have kids coming in and out. You can still do this. I mean, anybody, the excuses that a lot of people make for not being able to do this business, one of the biggest excuses people use is the fact that they have kids, but yet their kids are their why. It's so contradictory. It's like you just push through it. If they're coming in and out of doors, so what? I just think it makes us look even more real, and it makes other people know, look, you can do this too. And you know, when you said two things that you said that really hit me is you've lost in and out of 200K 10 times. Listen, guys, you guys, you know, we think we see this highlight reel on Facebook, and none of us are going to go say on our Facebook page, just lost 200K again. Listen, you guys don't know how many people have reached the promised land and have fallen out, and then they go back and fallen out. You know, every time I do this call on Tuesdays, so many people, I get off of them and I'm getting messages like, oh my God, I had no idea. Oh my gosh, I follow her and I didn't know that. Like, it's like so huge for people to know that, look, this is, you just keep going. Like, you're going to hit these things are going to happen. And the other thing you talked about was the red leg. Oh my gosh. I just got back from a retreat this weekend, and I swear we talked about red leg for like an hour. And for those of you guys that are on that don't understand what red leg means, I like how Chastity Marie put it this weekend. She said, stop saying red legs, call it a.
Oh, you muted.
But basically, power leg, you know, it's basically you've got a really heavy leg. And I've been doing this for 10 years, and I don't know anybody that doesn't have a heavy leg. Like, I've got a heavy leg. I don't know anybody that does not have a super heavy leg. But it can get you down, because if you're watching a leg pass you that's underneath of you, it's probably like, you know, it's kind of, you get mixed feelings. Like, you're happy because that leg is under you, but you're also kind of like, dang, why I need my other side going so that I can get going. So I'm sure, like, mentally, did you feel like that was a block for you watching that heavy leg go faster?
No, because I'm like, they're doing 60% of the work for me. Like,
I love that.
not to like just write it, but look at it as they're doing 60% of the work. Now you got to go do the other 40. I mean, in my opinion,
Right.
you want to build leaders. You want them to take off like that. So I feel like, okay, we did a good job. Now let's go build someone else.
Yeah, one of the girls this weekend at the retreat was like, I just look at it like, her name's Michelle. She was like, I look at it now, it's already there for me. Like, when I find another leg, once I hit 12K, I'm already automatically going to be there. Once I go 40K, I will automatically be a 40K. I will automatically be a 200K, because the other side is already there. It's such a blessing. And people just need to switch their mindset. So one of the questions I have for you too was, and let me know if like it's
All
getting
right,
too
let me go
crazy.
grab my baby real
Oh,
quick.
go ahead. Go for it. Go for it. I can talk all day, girl. You're good. You know, and one of the things I was, want to tell you guys that are on today is, when you hit these hurdles or you lose rank or you're in a place where you feel like, gosh, am I ever going to get out of this place that I'm at right now? The biggest thing that you can do is switch your mindset, because it truly is just a mindset. It was crazy at the retreat I was at this weekend, how many people had literally stopped working their business, and then a year later they decided to come back, and all of a sudden they flew through the ranks. And the only reason they flew through the ranks was really mindset. That was the only thing that changed. The comp plan didn't change, the products didn't change. The only thing that changed was them. They switched the way that they were thinking, which is like so freaking huge. Like, you have to switch that thought process. One of the things, and please, Kristen, if it gets too crazy, just let me know. We don't care. I don't care. You can have 10 kids in the background. I just want your knowledge, girl. You're good.
No. Eyes. They're fine until you get on Zoom, and then they're like, oh, markers.
Oh, of course. That's when they're like, I'm hungry. I need this. I need that. I'm going to cry now. So really quickly, because you've been in 5 years, and one of my biggest things is, it is like, I think people think it's easier for us the longer we're in to grow our network. It is so much harder. I'm like, I just watched last Tuesday, my 30-day PPA turned to 0. And I was like, what the heck? Like, okay, I need to get to work. And you have to continue to build your network. So how do you build your network?
Yeah, it's like the law of averages, right? Like sometimes you might be at 15 PPA, you might be at 0. Like I think my dad got down to 2 and I was freaking out. I'm like, like I need to go like find somebody. No matter what, I need to make it happen. And you just make the decision in your head. So as far as networks, a lot of my people, I think my PPA is 7 now. They're coming from, some I have watched for 5 years. Some I am in a mom's like networking group, and they're all small business owners, and it was from the Dallas area. And now, since I moved to San Antonio, I opened up a chapter here. So I'm like, I want to be the leader. I want to be someone that other people look up to, and build relationships that way. So they have seen me participate in this group for over a year now. And some of them are finally coming around. They've watched me, they hear me say I'm with Lavelle Thrive every meeting. And so, and I love it because they're moms and they, we all network together and we all bring our kids. So they get it, they understand, and they see me still making it happen with 2 crazy kids at home by myself. So that has been good. I joined other groups where we just moved. Like a Working Moms of San Antonio, New Braunfels Moms, Crunchy Moms, I just went and typed in my city name and I just looked at the groups that are around here. A lot of them I wanted to join, like that were business owners or working moms, because I know they have a lot going on and they need energy. But even if you find like stay-at-home moms of San Antonio, whatever, you can find groups on everything. So go join some Facebook groups, start interacting, ask questions on there. Since we just moved, I asked like, where's a good pediatrician, a dentist, yada, yada. I don't know, I'm always building my network. We had people come install like beams on the roof in our house, and they were here for 2 days. So they like saw me take my Thrive. They saw me on Zooms. They heard stuff. He saw my car. When he came and gave me a quote, actually, he saw the Thrive sticker on my car, and he messaged my husband and was like, hey, I've heard about that. Like, can y'all tell me more? Anyways, long story short, he's one of my auto ship customers, the guy who put in the beams. Pest control guy. He comes we had him more often because we have scorpions in the house. It's crazy. So the pest control guy is one of my customers. I went and got my hair done. She is one of my customers. I don't know. I call it the everywhere you go approach. And literally everywhere I go or whoever I come in contact with will start to know that I'm a Thriver. Like my sticker is loud and proud. We were at Hobby Lobby and the guy's like, okay, I got to ask you a question. What's on your arm? And he'd done another company and he told me what he didn't like about that company. And I was able to tell him how to solve that problem, got his info, sent him an email, yada, yada. Hasn't ordered yet, but whatever, I'll keep following up. I mean, there's billions of people in the world. I mean, on social media, there's people everywhere. Something recently I got from Kayla Fox too. She sent a little blurb because we get the credits right now. And I sent it to my customers and I said, hey, I'm going to put you in a drawing for $50 in credits. These are to my customers. I'll put you in a drawing for $50 in credits if you post this on your wall, because most customers don't know what to do with their customers. And it's a little thing that says, y'all, I'm loving my Thrive experience. My girl Kristen's giving away $25 shopping sprees. She has 10 spots. Drop an emoji. You guys might have heard this. Drop an emoji to get a spot. And my customers are doing that now. And they're getting comments on their posts. And I told them, like, whoever comments is going under you. And now we're creating accounts for people under them. And it's helping them get their 2 referrals. If I were to tell my customers, because I've done this, I'm like, hey, who do you know that needs XYZ? Put me in a chat with them. They're customers. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know. They don't know how to do that. But if I put them in a drawing for 15 credits because they realize $50 off my Thrive order is huge, all I have to do is post a status. They are now touching their network. And I say shopping spree because people understand shopping spree. They don't really understand credits. So I've switched that language, and that's really helping. So you have today and tomorrow to go get as many accounts, because trust me, after tomorrow, you're going to be like, dang it, I should have worked harder. Can we get one more day of that promo? So that has helped me get more people in, not my network. I have to use other people's networks now because everybody I know knows I thrive.
Right. Referrals. I mean, it's so genius. Like, and how many customers are going to go, no, I don't want to do that. They're going to be like, sure. Like, why not? And you don't know who that's going to lead to. And it's also a great way to convert a customer to a promoter. Because if they get lots of, people commenting, you can totally be like, well, hey, do you want these people? Because this is going to make you money too. Free stuff plus money. So it's kind of like, why not utilize that? And those of you guys that aren't doing it or haven't done that yet, that's one of the first things I would do when I get off today's Zoom is I would get a list of my current or past customers and that ordered, and I would be like, hey, would you do this for me? Or even customers that have free customer accounts. Hey, I know you've been a free customer. I bet you'd love to try the product. Well, would you post this post for me? I'm going to give you some credits. Like, you guys have to think outside the box and do the work, but that could lead to tons and tons more people. I mean, like you just said, Kristen, your network never has to end. I mean, social media is crazy. There's so many people that don't even know what this is. And you live in an area, I mean, Texas is kind of where this all started. And, do you ever hear, oh, it's saturated, or everybody knows about Thrive? I am sure you probably run into people every day in your area that are like, what is that? Like, it is so not saturated.
No, if I go to the grocery store, I don't see one person with a DFT on. Like, even if you live in a small town, don't have that limiting belief, because people in a small town know people in big towns. Like, just keep that ripple effect. I don't know, when I go to the store and I see everybody wearing stickers, then I might start thinking that, but that doesn't happen. Lots of people are like, oh, I've never heard of that. Like, oh, is it like Herbalife, Rabbit Care, whatever? I'm like, no. So maybe
You're so right. I don't ever see stickers on people. You're so right. It's so crazy because 4th of July, we ended up in my front yard, and I've lived here like 6 months, but I have not met any of my neighbors yet. Isn't it crazy how we like don't meet neighbors like anymore? And we were out front, and my neighbors were out front, and we were introducing ourselves. And I'm thinking, none of these people know about Thrive. Like, none of them. Like, it's just so crazy how untapped. Like, I should go door to door in my neighborhood. You had to do it the hard way when you were selling what you did before, like door to door. That was hard. You guys, now we can literally sit in our houses, lay in bed at night, and make connections with people. It's just so cool how what we do, you can do from absolutely anywhere. So when you sign up somebody new, I always am curious, like, what do you do? Like, let's say I'm in your inbox saying, I'm like, okay, Kristen, I'm ready to do this thing. What do you kind of do to guide me through those first 14 days, month-ish?
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of evolved, but it's kind of the same. I know the funnel, I always followed the funnel where we had like share your story, 24-hour recorded call, share a Facebook story, 3-way. Well, we've kind of switched a little bit. I still share my story. I make them their free account, and we kind of have a buffer. We have like a little customer page that's been working really well. I'm like, hey, let me add to this really fun group where you can be a fly on the wall and just watch what it's doing for other people. Just like the Facebook fan page, people are sharing their stories in there. There could be customers sharing on there, and they don't even make money. So it's like curiosity gets the cat. If they see enough stories, they're going to be like, okay, tell me more. We're like, fine, I'm ready to get started. So I make their account because first and foremost, I want them with me. I don't want them to go sign up with anybody else. And then I add them to that page, have them see the stories. And then once we get into like, they ask me a question, whatever the question is, I'm like, hold on one second. Let me get you connected with my friend Heather. She has an amazing story. You have to hear it. And I still do this 3-way connections. Like, they got to hear it from somebody else. whether that's a customer or a promoter, I get them connected to somebody else. So if they're like, okay, I want to promote, I'm like, cool, well, let's get on a Zoom and let's talk a little bit more. Because I like to see their face. I like to just have that conversation with them. I want to know their why. On the phone's cool. I don't know. I like getting on Zooms with my potentials, or if they just hit the promoter button, and I just like to get to know them more. So we get on the Zoom, and then I put them in, make sure they're in that chat if they haven't been. But I have a little VIP chat. I'm like, let's say Sarah's VIP 8:29. If that's when it ends, so like I see it and I don't forget, and we're always in there like, okay, let's post something today. Like, what have you been noticing? Like, and then I help them make a post, or like, who are 3 people that you can send a message to? So, I mean, just following the funnel of sharing my story, getting them a free account, let them see other stories, getting them in a 3-way call, chat, Zoom, however you do that. And then just day by day, work that VIP. Some people can just go do it, but some people just need to know what to do. Like sometimes they have the why, but they just don't know what to do or how to do it. And you just gotta coach them through that.
Yeah, it's so crazy how, like, I know you're going to know what I'm talking about when I say this, but you know how, like, you just sign somebody and they just do it. They just do it. And you're like, oh my gosh, I've got someone. Like, you get all excited. I got someone. They didn't even need me. Like, it tends to be those kind of people that tend to fly up the ladder. And not that you can't if you didn't, because I will tell you what, we've had so many people on here, including yourself. You didn't get both your VIP bonuses. I've had people on here, 200Ks, that didn't get either one of their VIP bonuses. VIP bonuses don't dictate what you're going to do in the future. And I think a lot of people quit so easily because they think, oh my gosh, if I couldn't even do this, I'm probably not good at this, so I'm just not going to do it. And it's just so sad because most people, especially if they've never done network marketing before, or they have like a network at all, the beginning probably is going to be tough for them. I mean, most friends and family are the last ones to come on board. I don't know about you, but I still have friends and family 10 years into network marketing. I have been a millionaire in 2 companies, and they don't want nothing to do with this. They like just like plug their ears when I'm talking at a family function. And it's like, what is wrong with you people? But it's so crazy how like the beginning is building that network, and it takes time for some people. Like, but once you kind of get your groove on and you're kind of learning what you're doing, then it can just like boom, overnight. You can watch somebody that didn't, were building their network for 6 months. All of a sudden, 6 months in, they go straight to 12K because they were doing all of those right things every day. And that brings me to my next question. We always talk about your IPAs and what do you do every day to grow your business? Do you have like a system? I mean, I know we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I always tell people 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is your minimum. Like that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is not going to get you climbing the ladder fast. You've got to it needs to be more like 20, 10, we change those numbers a bit. But what do you feel like income producing wise a person needs to be doing every single day, no matter how busy they are, what their schedule is, even if they're fitting this in the nooks and crannies? What are the things they have to do every day?
Yeah, I think back to when I was teaching, I was coaching, I was planning a wedding, I was teaching Sunday school. You have a cup of ice and you feel like you have no time. So if you have a cup, you put the ice in it. It looks like it's full to the top, but then you stop. Thank you. And then you pour water in there and you realize, oh, there's tons of space in here. And that's what you do. You work into the nooks and crannies of your day. When I was driving to school and driving home, like I was always on the phone. I feel like an income producing activity, talking to someone that's not using the products yet. Get on the phone with them, get in a messenger with them, voice clip with them. Whatever your number is, I don't know. You decide how many you have to talk to each day. 5, yeah, is kind of the minimum. If you want to explode and you want to have massive results, you got to have massive action. And that's going to be having conversations with people all day long. Like there were times I missed dinner. There were weekends that I was constantly on Zooms. I mean, even now we are exploding. Like I'm always on like calls and Zooms, whatever. But having those conversations, following up with people that you've already had conversations, and that's why the funnel is good, because it gives you different points of how to follow up. If you haven't sent a story yet, that's your follow-up. If you haven't made their account, that's your follow-up. Maybe you do a drawing for samples or something, you know, that's your follow-up. Hey, I'm doing a drawing, want to see if you want to be entered. I don't really have a number, but you got to follow up. Those people who are sampling, you've got to check in with them, because they're probably going to do it wrong. If you don't, even if you send a graphic, even if you voice clip how to do it, they're still probably going to mess it up. So, oh my God, stop throwing the box. So you've got to check in with them. What other income producing? You got to add people to your network. I know we have 2 on 54321, but you got to have more than that, because you just don't know who's out there praying for what we have. 1, check in with a team member. I don't know how many I do a day, way more than 1. You know, show your team that you care about them. See how they're doing. See how they're doing outside this. See how you can help. See, you know, if they need advice with social media, whatever, you know, check in with your team to see how you could be there for them, because if you show them you care about them, they're going to stick around. I've gone through all the different systems. I've tried the sticky note thing. I've tried my planner. I've tried Teamsy online. I'd say that's probably my favorite, Teamsy, but I can't tell everybody to do that because you have to pay for it. It's probably not compliant, blah, blah. But to me, it gives me a list of who I need to reach out today. I put in a goal, and with that, I had 18 prospect reach outs today. I had, I think it was 11 follow-ups with current or past customers, and then it was 8 team members a day. So those numbers are huge, right? And your messenger is like blowing up because you have all these reach outs that you're doing. So that was a good tool. I don't know, nowadays, I'm gonna be real honest, sometimes I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, because I'm like,
Oh, I feel you. And you know what I always tell people? If you didn't do anything else, like everyone on here, if you did nothing else but continue to add to your network and do your Facebook posts so people know what you do, it is going to grow. Like those are the 2 things that you have to do every day. And it just blows my mind. I say this all the time, but it will never stop blowing my mind how hard people work to get a dang customer. And then as soon as they get them, they never follow up again. And then they wonder why they didn't order the next month or the next month or the next month. It's like how you work 6 months to finally build a relationship and sign somebody, and then you don't follow up after that. It's like ludicrous, but we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. I've done it before. And it's like, you have to be definitely on purpose about what you're doing, because if you do not have something written down or some kind of, okay, at least need to do these 2 things today, then you're gonna forget the follow-ups. You're gonna forget, I've got to touch base with this person. Like you have to somehow, whatever that is for you guys on here, because believe me, I am a hot mess express. Anybody that knows me knows I literally am write the winning lottery numbers down on a sticky note and somebody threw it away. Like I'm a hot mess. But I have my own way, my own system, and I make sure I do a 6 list. So every night before I go to bed, I write my 6 things down that are income producing that I have to do the next day, and then I cross it off because it makes me feel like I've accomplished it when I cross something off a list. But everybody has to find their own thing, and I just love what you said, Kristen. You didn't make this difficult or hard. That's what you have to do. Follow up, add new people to your network, post on Facebook or social media. Let people know what you're doing. It's so, so huge. One of the things you keep mentioning is 3 ways. And for some reason, I don't know why I cannot get my team to listen how important 3 ways are. Like, I don't know how to stress it anymore. How you can be working with someone and they can be on the fence, and you just can't push them over. And the second you get in a message with someone else for that 3rd party credibility, suddenly they sign up within seconds. And I don't know what that piece of the puzzle is that they don't do it. But do you do three-way messages mostly now? Because I don't really do calls. I do mostly messages.
Yeah, it's mostly Messenger, unless it might be like, I don't know, an old school person that's like, I don't really know how that goes. I'm like, cool, let's get them on the phone. But I will say like 90% of three-ways turn into an order, like at least 90%. They just need to know that somebody else is there, and some people will open up to me and not to their friend, even though the friend's in them, but it's things that they haven't told their friend, but they'll tell me. And especially having 2 kids during these 5 years, I get a lot of pregnancy and nursing questions, and I'm like, throw me in a chat. And I just voice clip. Actually, I have my voice clip that I voice clip to myself, and I just forward it because I would say the same thing like 18 times a day, and I don't have time for that. So I voice clipped it to myself, and I just forward that to my nursing and prego mamas. But they just need to know somebody that's like them, someone that relates to them. If they have an underlying medical condition, get them with somebody that does too, if you can. If not, just get them connected. Like, I've seen a team go from 4K to over 16K the next month just by implementing three-way call, three-way chat. Like, it works. And the only thing holding you back is you. You are telling yourself they don't want to. Like, how do you know? Maybe they do. Maybe they need to talk to somebody else that can relate to them. Like, don't take that away from somebody. You know, even promoting. Sometimes we stop people. We think, oh, they don't want to promote. They don't want to. How do you know? Have you even talked to them about it? Like, don't make the decision for them. Let them make the decision. So just do that.
Yeah, just do it. Like, and what do you guys have to lose? If you're not able to convince someone, well, I hate the word convince, but if you're not able to get that person where they need to be, dude, what do you have to lose by putting them in a message? They're already not signing with you. So they may just sign. One of the things I have learned over the last 10 years is you have got to self-develop. Like, you have got to grow as a person. I'm pretty sure you can agree you're probably not the same person today that you were when you started this 5 years ago. And it's like, I look back and go, oh my gosh, I was not the person I wanted to be. And thank God for this kind of business where I've been able to grow myself in all areas, not just in this business, but as a mom, as a friend, network marketing is the coolest thing ever. Like, it's the only business job that people are like, make yourself a better person, read this book, watch this podcast. What do you do anything daily to keep like anything self-development wise that you're like, people need to do this every day?
Oh my gosh. I don't know how many times we've talked about that recently with my leaders. Like, I don't know why people don't get that they have to fill their own cup. You have to have personal development with whatever it is, a podcast, a book, audio book, something. Because where do you think people get their content from? Where do you think you learn to be a better leader? You know, a better person. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. How am I going to do that if I'm not learning from someone else? I guess because I'm an educator, I'm always like constantly wanting to learn. I always have something that's going to grow my mind. Right now, it's the Momentum Makers book. I've already read it once. I'm reading it again. Are you in this? One of these?
I am not.
Okay. I know Jamie is. So this one is like 24 average people that like do well in network marketing, sharing their stories, and they have like a series coming out. I don't think you can get this yet, but it's coming in September. But you know, I get tons of golden nuggets in there. I don't know, so many different books. We got them all over the house. But there's a podcast on Facebook Live that I just listened to, Fraser Brooks, because Leanne shared that with me, and that one's really good. And listen while you're showering, listen while you're making breakfast, listen while you're running, listen while you're driving to work. Instead of having the radio on, put on something that you're gonna learn from. The Earl Nightingale, Let's Talk About Money, that Paul shared. Like, that has been, it's like 10 minutes. I listened to it 3 times at least. You've got to fill your mind so you know what to talk to your other people about. You know, if you're educating yourself, you can have educated conversations, and these things come from the books I read or the podcasts I listen to. And so iron sharpens iron, right? And you will start to see success clues, not just within this company, but in multiple business owners. Like, learn to think about success, like think the way successful entrepreneurs think. And the way you do that is by reading what they write.
Right. I agree. Yeah. I don't know what I would do without it. Like, what? I would be so lost if I wasn't constantly growing, just growing. And even in this business, like, there's never anything that you can run out of doing. Like, I always think about, well, if I do kind of feel like I've hit a wall with Facebook, I can always go try Instagram, which I haven't done yet. Like, there's always another avenue. You just have to be willing to kind of step out of your comfort zone and do it. So my last question for you is, in the last 5 years, what's the best thing that's ever happened to you on your journey so far? Like, maybe it was an accomplishment, maybe it was whatever, like, that sticks out to you that you're kind of like, man, this totally has changed my life.
Oh God. How do
I know there's so many, right?
like how to pick one? Okay, this picture here was me speaking on stage 3 years ago, I think it was. One of the Thrive Paloozas about team building. Scariest thing ever. They're like, oh, you won't be able to see the audience. Yes, I saw like every single face, all 20,000 of them. So that was a huge outside my comfort zone moment. Going from like being a person who's afraid to call and order pizza because she didn't want to talk to somebody to talking in front of 20,000 people. Like, that was a really cool personal development thing. This one was fun, being in the Strive magazine. Gosh, I mean, hitting millionaires right around the corner, like, that still makes me super emotional. Like, that I could earn $1 million in 5 years, where in my last career, it would have taken me like 30 or more, 30 years. Like, you're just condensing into a short amount of time. You're working your freaking tail off, but I was working my freaking tail off over there too. I mean, and really just seeing that other people on my team achieve their goals, like watching someone else work so hard and stick it out and hitting 200K, and you're like, I did it. And like, that's the coolest thing. It doesn't even have to be 200K, like even like 12K, earning that car bonus. Like, that is such a huge milestone. And to watch other people do it, like, I just got to keep going because I don't know who else needs that. And I have to tell them about what we have here. I don't know. There's so many.
No, I totally get it. Like, I always think about, if somebody wouldn't have opened their mouth, I would still be waiting tables and bartending. Like, I really like picture my life and go, oh my gosh, like, it was that one split second that somebody shared something with me that literally changed the whole course of my life that brought me here today. That's you for someone else. That's every single one of you guys that are on here today. You are somebody else's answer to their prayer. Like, it's so crazy. It's insane how one person can lead to changing, one yes can lead to changing thousands of other lives. It's insane. It's so crazy. And
And
it's so cool to be a part of this.
it really is. And right now, I just got to keep talking about teaching because that's my past. But teachers need this. I know parents do too, but with the uncertainty of like not going into all that, but not really knowing what tomorrow holds as far as being in a classroom, being home, learning virtual or whatever, like, teachers are exhausted. They are probably already overworked. Their mental capacity is being expanded. Like, they need what we have. So please, if that's the only thing you do when you get off of this, is go tell a teacher, hey, I heard a story of another teacher who's using our products and it helped her with happiness and it helped her with energy. I just have to share this with you. Like, go message a teacher right now, or just thank them. You know, just send a positive message. Be like, hey, I see you. I know you're working hard. Thanks for what you do for the youth of our world. Like, teachers need this right now.
Amen. That's what I always say, man. When you go sit down to dinner, please tell your waitress, get her number. You could change your life. Like, everybody needs this. And that's what's so cool, is that it's not like we're selling jewelry or makeup where, only a certain part of the population needs the product or would want it. We have a product that every human being on the planet needs. Like, everybody, and you have to share it with everybody, because you just don't know whose life you're about to change. I saw somebody put in the chat where they can find the recordings to these. If you guys go to YouTube and type in Dani, Dani, Gett, Gett, she records all my Zooms. They're all like, I just went to YouTube and put in her name, and I was looking through it. I'm like, Erin Aponte, Billie Holderby, there's so many, you guys. They're so good. So if you're ever just bored one night, go there and just pick one and listen to it before bed, because I promise you, you will get so pumped. If you are new and this is your first time joining us on a Tuesday, if this blew your mind and you absolutely loved it, make sure that you show up every Tuesday, same time, 12 noon Eastern, same link every single week, just a different person that we interview. And I'm telling you what, all I know is it's the Zooms like this. I'm already getting in my messenger, Kristen. Oh my God, I needed this today. Oh my God, she was so good. It not only does it make us feel good, I love doing stuff like this because it feeds my soul. I'm like, oh my gosh, I helped people. But you guys never know what you might hear. Just one little thing, just like what Kristen shared today about the host to post, asking your customer to post something on their timeline. Maybe that was the thing, and it's going to change everything. Maybe you'll sign your first customer today, or the last customer you needed to grab a whatever. You don't know, and it's getting on these things that it changes the game. You never know what you're going to learn. And I can tell you guys, over the last 10 years, it's been one little teeny tweak, one little thing I learned that started the amazingness again, started it all up. I'm in a slump and I do one thing different and I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. So definitely getting on these are so key. You guys save the link in your phone. It never changes. It's open to anyone in the company. So share away. Kristen, thank you so much for hopping on today. And even with your crazy world with your kids, you know what? You are killing me, because if it was me, I would be like, what was I saying? Oh my God, I don't know what I was just saying. But you are so used to the chaos that you jumped right back in to your last word. I'm like, dang, she's good.
I'm snapping my fingers, and the teacher in me is coming out. I'm like, stop it.
I love it.
Take a picture of this, put it on your Instagram stories, and tag somebody to show power in numbers. So
yes,
an action item.
Yeah, everybody take a screenshot of everybody on, and just a post of spent an hour with 250 of my closest friends.
Yes.
I love it. And we just got paid, you guys, 4 minutes ago. So don't forget, payday posts are powerful. Putting gas in your car, food in your refrigerator. That's what stopped me when I got into network marketing, was a post of somebody literally being able to not have to count their money at the grocery store. And I was like, I don't want to have to count my items at the grocery store. I don't want to have to put something back in line. I want to be able to just go buy whatever I want. And that is what prompted me to even want to know even more. So you guys, it's those little posts that make the biggest differences. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Kristen, again. We'll see you next Tuesday, guys, 12 noon Eastern. Have an amazing week and happy payday.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Kristen. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for getting on.